start this off right.
I'd like to introduce you to the Church of Beers. When you listen to our program, you can leave your hopes and fears. We'll have a beer together, maybe a laugh or two. Church of Beers is just a place for people just like you. I'd like to welcome you to the Church of Beers. I'd like to welcome you to the Church of Beers. I'd like to welcome you to the Church of Beers. Let's all say cheers. At the Church of Beers.
Welcome to the Church of Beers, a show about craft brews and people where we use craft beer as lubrication for our conversation. My name is Carlos Pastor, a.k.a. Pastor Los, and my host again for the second time, my best friend in the whole wide world, a man that I look up to, and is just a beautiful human being, Dean Williams.
Yes, hello, all churchgoers in the world. How are you doing today?
All right, Dean. So this is the holiday season. We're here, and it's post-Christmas. We have dodged the Christmas bullet, or we survived the grand day of gift giving and sorrow. It's like a mix of like, oh, there's happiness and there's lots of drinking and merriment, and there's a lot of sad people on the other end of that. But we're fortunate. We're very fortunate.
Very, very, very fortunate.
Of course, Christmas means something different for everybody. We're not going to get too far into it because you know what? I feel like Christmas is like politics. You know, once it's over, you don't want to really talk about it anymore. Like wait for the next election, right? Let's wait for the next Christmas.
That's right. Gear up for the next Christmas.
Gear up for the next Christmas. We have to deal with that right now. So let's go to the bag. Let's see. Since we have Santa's grab bag here of proper drinks, our beer today is going to be from Funky Buddha Brewery. It is Hop Gun IPA. It's an Indian Pale Ale, 7% ABV.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is definitely hoppy. Pour it in there. You can hear it drip, drip, drip.
Yes. Let's see if I can recreate.
All right. Anyway, so, that sounds better on yours than mine. All right, man. So here's the deal. This beer right here is nice, crisp, and it's a little fruity. It's like a little limey, you know, like IPAs are. This is a nice beer. I had this before. I bought a 6-pack of this bad boy, and I'm like, I actually let my mom have the taste of this, and she liked it.
Right. It has a citrusy taste on the back end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff. So we've been trying to push up as much stuff as we can. We're down here in sunny Florida. So the weather's crazy out here right now. I mean, it's not crazy for them. It's normal for them, but it's 78 degrees, I think, today.
Right. One day was nice, and then it was hot again.
Right. If it sounds a little different to everyone, it's because we are doing this recording from Dean's mom's kitchen.
That's right. Mama Williams, straight from the kitchen.
So, a lot of love and magic has happened in this kitchen, and we're going to do a little more magic today here at the Church of Beers.
Exactly.
So, moving forward. All right. So, Dean, we pushed a lot into this holiday season in a very short period of time. I know you're living in Columbia, South Carolina. Right, right. And I know that while you've been out there, you've been busy, and you're in school. Can you tell my audience what you're in school for?
I am currently chasing the degree of a nurse.
What type of nurse?
Well, for me, my specialty is going to be, I'm going to be RN at the end of the day. But my specialty is going to be public health.
So what does that mean, public health?
Well, public health in so many words is basically you can be assigned a district, or it could be certain areas, and you are to basically address all the health issues in the community.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be like working for government is the plan, or?
That would be great because government is good money, but I have to see how it goes the closer I get to my end of my journey. But public health is the only one to talk to me. I'm not pretty much in love with all what you see on TV with ERs and everybody diving across tables to save lives.
Wait a minute. So like that TV show ER, well, you have worked in a hospital?
I have worked in a hospital. Yes.
Okay. You've done your, what they call them, clinicals?
I've done clinical rotations. I've done rotations as a med tech.
How many hours as a I guess, what would you be, a licensed practitioner nurse or licensed nurse practitioner?
LPN would be, LPN is the next level underneath an RN.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What type of level do you have right now?
Right now, I'm just a student.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, but you have some certifications and stuff?
I've got certifications. I'm a med tech. Nothing. It's very low level things. Just about anybody nowadays is a CNA and the certified nurse assistant and all that. But these are things that you acquire on the way up your ladder. Okay. Some people stop at LPN and are LPNs for the rest of their lives. Others, go on to become RN and get your BSN and your master's and all that secured as the RNs, or your doctorate even. Gotcha.
Now, being a nurse or even a nursing student, I could imagine that's like kind of stressful.
Yeah. Kind of stressful is the low way of looking at it. I have to say it is, you will learn a lot about yourself. You will definitely know frustration. You will learn patience. You will learn how to study in a different way.
And clean poo. Can't forget poo.
There's
a lot of that.
That's just the bonus that comes with it. I have to say this much. Nursing has taught me a lot about myself, and you will know your ups, your highs and your lows. You'll know failure. You will. At some point, you'll know failure.
That sounds very ominous. Can you be more specific? You giving a description or like a story?
I mean, when I say failure, the failure is not a bad thing. Sometimes you have to fail to learn more about yourself. I've always been a confident person, but I have been introduced to this wonderful word called anxiety. And I have sat there and frozen up in certain situations due to lack of experience in certain things. But that's the thing, to throw you out there so that you know what happens, so that when you are RN and you're out there in the live field, you do not freeze up.
Gotcha.
Just like the military, per se.
Right, per se. Well, I mean, look, they deal with things. I mean, nurses and paramedics and people that work in emergency medicine. Mm-hmm. If you're in the emergency medicine field, you deal with more than what the average person would deal with in their regular everyday life. This is shit that people see like maybe once or twice. Right. Oh, I had a sick uncle, blah, blah, blah. But you're talking about, seeing this every day for your job. Mm-hmm. And you currently work at a place. I
work at a senior facility.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what would you say your like average, the age of the people that you take care of at this place?
I'd probably have to say late 70s. The oldest person I've met so far, she's 106 years old.
Holy shit. 106.
Yeah, she's as lucid and spry as the day is long.
Wow. So, how would you say, like, can you take me through an average day for, like, what's your title at your job now?
Certified nurse assistant.
Okay. Certified nurse assistant.
/ med tech.
Check. What is your average day? Like when you're cutting through the day, what does your day look like? Like what does it look like for Dean going into work and dealing with, the elderly and any of the things that you have to deal with when you first come in? What's it like?
Oh, when you first come in, of course, you're going to get report of finding out who your coworkers who worked the shift before, basically finding out how everything was going throughout the day. If so-and-so patient's exhibiting signs of, being sick. So you have a heads up on what's going on. You want to converse with the LPN or RN who's on duty so they can go ahead and bring you up to speed on what's going on. For the most part, when you get to know your patients, you can pretty much know how their day is going so far. But you don't want to take that for advantage. You still want to check on them, make sure they're doing okay, make sure that they're clean, happy, and get ready for the next activity, which in my case would probably be dinner time, because they've been awake all day and they've been visiting family and going to the doctors or therapy. Gotcha.
When you look at that, do you think, hey, I'd be okay if I was in a place like this when I get to that age?
I'm a different guy. I would be happy if you just set me off into the woods and give me a knife and say, all right, man, there you go. See you on the other side. I don't know if I would be happy to be in a facility like that.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, I couldn't put my mother in that facility.
Right.
But that's not speaking bad about other people's facilities.
Some people have no option. They have no choice.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It is not easy taking care of people who are sick. You develop caregivers fatigue in a short amount of time.
What's caregivers fatigue? What is that?
It's just like you hear it. It's basically if you are taking care of somebody, it takes a lot of sacrifice. You have to put yourself you have to put yourself in your priorities on a lower level to accommodate that person you're caring for. And sounds good at the beginning, but then let that turn into months.
Right. It's like a marathon of,
Exactly. And then for a while, then you start neglecting things like eating, exercising, all because you're trying to maintain the livelihood of your loved one. And then that affects everything because then you fall.
Here's a weird thought. Is that kind of like, do you feel like sometimes like people that are doing that, do they feel like their life force is kind of being pulled from this elderly person that needs more attention? Do you feel like that's something that happens? I mean, it's similar, I guess. I
wouldn't think it's a thing of pulling a life force. It's basically you giving it away.
Right. Giving it up is what I should say.
Right. Because in a lot of cases, the elderly are not aware of their situation, depending on what their affliction is.
If they have dementia or whatever,
Alzheimer's, dementia, to them it's just another day.
Right, you meet new people every day. That's what I hear.
Exactly.
Alzheimer's.
And that's cool, but it does have an effect on others because a lot of caregivers who worked longer than I have found themselves getting upset. It's not an easy thing.
It's frustrating.
It is frustrating at times, and it's not something that everybody wants to do.
Gotcha.
You try and do your best.
At the end of your day, you're done working. Do you go home and go, all right, I gotta sit in front of the TV? What's your wind down look like?
Everybody in healthcare has to have a purge. You have to have a mental purge. You have to have a mental day. I don't know if it's for you to play tiddlywinks or video games or.
What the fuck is a tiddlywink?
Don't act like you don't know what tiddlywink.
I don't know what a tiddlywink is.
All right, we'll educate everybody later.
Okay. I'm gonna have to jujule it.
That's right, jujule it. Whether it be video games, talking to a loved one, because these things build on you whether you're knowing or not, and you get tired just like anybody else. It's very important to purge.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of a purge, we've just purged our first beer. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the second one.
Glass of whiskey with a loaded weapon. Russian roulette trigger happy, man, just blow my head in. Virginia black got me reminiscing, no misconceptions. My past is haunting me late at night, got me stressing. I love my mama, no doubt about it, no further questions. She taught me lessons to be humble, watching my aggression. I love her daily, though we argue through my adolescence. Quarter grown pains, got me working for progression. I'm high for hours, concentrating, no sacrifices. I'm on a budget, deciphering all the prices. Don't wanna see my dog side grow horns like a bison. Reggie Rebel rebuttals, my passion made me define.
I'm really gonna have to eat something between now and then.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm gonna put it in the bag.
That's okay. Okay, so we're back. And the second beer that we have for today is Terrapin Beer Company. They're from Athens, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And this is Senor Crinkles? Well, Senor Crunkles.
I like Senor Crinkles better.
Senor Crunkles. This is a tropical agave IPA. Mm. That sounds really dope. And let's see. This is ABV of 6.5 ABV. So I've had some Terrapin's other beers. They have this other real hoppy IPAs. I haven't tasted this yet, so I'm excited. But a agave IPA, mm-hmm. And just for anybody who doesn't know, agave is what they use to make tequila.
Science. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. So let's give this this is very clear. This almost looks like it has that really bright golden color of what do they call that? Like a Corona.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Good one.
Oh, but does not smell like a Corona. What's this smell like?
I don't know. At first I smelled it and it smelled citrusy, but I kind of like this.
No, it has a fruity flavor to it. Do you taste that?
I like this.
I can't figure what fruit is. Maybe grapes, kind of almost. It's a different type. I do like this. I do like it. This is good.
Senor Wrinkles.
How do you say it?
Senor Crunkles.
Senor Crunkles. Oh, that's a cool name. A very cool name. Yeah, this has, it smells nice. It